Native Heartbeat, a television magazine program covering issues and events important to Indian people throughout North America, including stories on history, culture, and sovereignty as told in our own voice. Today we are visiting the Hub Ballroom at the University of Washington in Seattle. During the American Indian Student Commission 2010 Winter Powwow. The powwow and other American Indian Student Commission activities serve to create an environment of social interaction for Native and non-Native American students alike. The powwow also serves to attract new Native American students to the University of Washington. The AISC has been hosting the gathering for more than 20 years.
Powwows at the university are really important because our young people come from the reservation and they come to the university, and this powwow and like the Native Americans clubs that are here keep everyone together. It allows them to express themselves. If they're in powwow back home, wherever they come from, it's a place where they can continue on and you know, still live their nativeness, their cultural ways. And that's why it's important, especially at places of higher learning, because tribes are sending their young people to be educated, you know, and so these powwows are a place for them to have family, to have a place, a home, and you know, still get that higher education, still get that learning, but at the same time, still be able to connect who they are and where they come from and what they're about.
We will have more on the 2010 Winter Powwow later in our program. Right now, let's take a look at some of the stories you'll be seeing in this edition of Native Heartbeat. Throughout Indian country, relationships between tribal elders and tribal youth are some of the most important. The B.R.I.G.E Foundation is creating new ways to strengthen these important ties. Native Heartbeat travels nearly 500 kilometers north of Victoria, British Columbia, to Alert Bay on Cormorant Island to visit the Umista Cultural Center. The Tacoma Art Museum hosts a celebration honoring art, music, and culture from the diverse Native community of the Pacific Northwest. Native Heartbeat is there. These stories and more as Native Heartbeat continues.
Well, culture is important to the Squamish people because it's an honoring of our ancestral ways and traditions and the ways that have been part of this landscape for thousands of years. So for us, we're honoring our ancestors, and we're also building for our future generations, our youth.
You are welcome to come ashore, and yes, our culture is alive.
I couldn't be more proud to be Squamish.
B.R.I.G.E recently hosted their 5th gathering at the Puyallup Cultural Center. B.R.I.G.E stands for Building Respectful Interactions to Develop Goals for American Indian Elders and Youth. Native Heartbeat's Jill Nampuya has more.
Each month, elders and youth from around the region come together to get to know one another.
Tonight we are having our 5th gathering of B.R.I.G.E, and what we do is we get together our elders and youth and other interested parties that are wanting to learn more about our culture, our language, our traditions, and our customs.
B.R.I.G.E stands for Building Respectful Interactions to Develop Goals for American Indian Elders and Youth. Its mission is to encourage and initiate the intergenerational cultural exchange between American Indian elders and youth, to share language, customs, traditions, and beliefs.
My description of B.R.I.G.E is for youth and elderly and all tribes, and to learn how to give, to understand, to be patient with one another, and to believe in one another, because we don't have that today. And we've got to have the courage and strength to be leaders for the young as well as the old, and show us how to be more spiritual, more giving, and not to judge. It's too hard. And I'm so thankful to be in this, because it's quite a program. We get gatherings of many from all over, and the dancers, the drummers, the chow, the information, the legends, everything is mind-boggling, but so much information you walk away feeling fulfilled. When I'm in that room, it's all one. There's no choices. It becomes one great big warm heart. And I want people to leave fulfilled with love and with legends, with information that they didn't know before, and including the elders.
With each B.R.I.G.E meeting, the group strengthens all of its programs. Programs like the purpose of this meeting, strengthening culture and personal ties. Other programs seek awareness of healthy living habits, the importance of getting a good education, and taking care of our environment. For many youth, it's a chance to learn about their identity.
That's one of the things that B.R.I.G.E does, is they not only do they bridge the communication and traditions, language with elders and youth, but also inner city kids who are not necessarily raised traditionally. They're able to find a sense of maybe self-awareness by participating in these programs, and they're very hungry. They want to find out who they are.
Through the efforts of B.R.I.G.E, the bonds between elders and youth continue to grow. Craft making and playing slahal, or the bones game, gave everyone something to remember. Working on crafts gave the youth and elders time to connect.
It lets the children look in the old people's heart and eyes, and they learn the same as I learned from my grandfather. He gave me so much in regard to fishing, hunting, stories, and a lot of sad stories, a lot of strong stories, but he had an impact on my life.
I think that the reason that we're growing primarily is because we have a lot of folks who are interested in working with elders, and a lot of folks that are interested in working with our youth. But oftentimes what I have found is the two are often separate. They don't blend the elders with the youth. We have a lot of elder services, we'll have a lot of youth services, but B.R.I.G.E devotes its time to combining both the elders with our youth.
This summer, the group plans to participate in the intertribal canoe journey. I'm Jill Nanpuya reporting for Native Heartbeat.
Coming up, the Umista Cultural Center.
Who says that all good things must come to an end? That nothing lasts forever? That you can't turn the tide for good? For us, protecting nature comes so naturally. We're the tribes in Western Washington, stewards, and have been for centuries to come.
Washington's Indian tribes are investing in education. In Auburn, the Muckleshoot tribe just opened a new state-of-the-art $40 million school for up to 500 students in grades K through 12.
The tribe has made an investment in the Muckleshoot people, not just into facilities, but into the people to gain an education.
We want our children to be able to succeed in life. We want them to be able to compete with anyone in the world and achieve whatever they need to in their lives.
There are those who dedicate themselves to a sense of honor, to a life of courage, and a commitment to something greater than themselves. They have always defended this nation and each other. They still do. The few, the proud, the Marines.
We are here at the American Indian Student Commission 2010 Winter Powwow on the University of Washington campus. The AISC is the University of Washington intertribal organization, which exists to promote Native culture, education, and Native students' interests, needs, and welfare. The Winter Powwow is a way for all university students to share and appreciate cultural diversity.
Powwow kind of also allows others to see what our culture is. A glimpse of it, I guess, scratches the surface, would be the best way to say that. And it's especially having it at a university where you'll see a lot of people who are really open-minded. You'll see like open to new ideas, because that's why you come to a university. You're trying to educate yourself.
Oh, it is the essence of what we've become. A lot of things were lost because of assimilation practices and different things that the federal government and society in general has imposed on indigenous people. So having a powwow is a place of belonging. It's a gathering for all tribes, no matter where they're from, whatever individual tribes or groups of people. It is a place that they can come here and be accepted for who they are. You know, you look at this powwow here, you have people who are southern style, you have northern plain style, you have coastal style, you have from the state of Alaska and Athabascans and Tlingit and Inuits that are here, and they're all welcome. You know, even our brothers and sisters from south of the border, you know, they are a part of us as well. And so it's just a unifying, it is a bond that we all share as being indigenous people.
Offering exhibits of contemporary and traditional artifacts, the Umisa Cultural Center features one of the finest collections of carved masks depicting the potlatch ceremony of the Kwakwaka'wakw.
May or may not know that this culture was banned by the early Canadian government, and from 1881 to 1952, around that time, that it was a criminal offense to dance and sing what you're seeing today. Umista means when something's returned to its rightful owner, so like these masks were wrongfully taken, when they came home they were umista, that they were returned to their rightful owners. This whole part of the building would represent a treasure box, because in ancient times sacred masks such as these wouldn't be publicly shown ever except in the dance and the ceremony.
This collection here, which is world-renowned as the Potlatch Collection, it is those objects that were confiscated by the Canadian authorities when they banned the potlatch ceremony. So it was like 6 years to negotiate for the return of all the objects that you see around us. As I look around the objects here and just think about some of the families that are here, the Hanyus family, the Hunt family, These are the grouping of Dunukwa masks. This one here is my grandfather's. This is a great legacy in our culture, representing what tribe we come from, what family we come from, for thousands of years of history. Our culture goes back at least 10,000 years. All of these objects that you see around us were presented in one form or another, even pre-flood days. The visitors are very important to us. If we have something as valuable as this Potlatch collection, and if we want people to come to understand it and respect it, we have to invite them to come and visit us.
Stay with us. When we return, the Coastal Native Celebration and other stories.
If I stay on the res, I'll be 8 times less likely to drop out of college.
If I stay on the res,
I won't be just another number.
I can learn biology in my native language.
I can use my education to help my people.
If I stay on the res,
I'll be more likely to transfer to a university.
6 times more likely if I stay on the res.
There's a 9 in 10 chance I'll finish college.
and I will finish college.
I will learn about the old ways so my culture will live on.
I will make my parents proud.
I'll make my people proud.
Our history will not be forgotten.
If I stay on the res.
I can get a quality education.
At a tribal college.
At a tribal college.
If I stay on the res.
If I stay on the res.
If I stay on the res.
Learn more about the 33 tribal colleges and how they're helping Native American people and their reservations. The American Indian College Fund, educating the mind and spirit.
I'm going to stay on the res.
The Tacoma Art Museum invites the public to share in the history and culture of the Northwest coastal tribes during the Coastal Native Celebration. Native Heartbeats' Frank Rice has the story.
The sounds of drumming and singing greeted visitors to the Tacoma Art Museum. The museum opened its doors in celebration of Coast Salish culture. This day-long event gave the artists and dance groups a chance to showcase their art and traditional skills. It also gave visitors a view into the early art forms of the Northwest Coast.
I've probably been weaving since I was in high school. My mom wasn't a weaver, but someone at our tribe, the Chaylas tribe, decided that they would offer cultural enrichment activities for the youth. So I learned to weave with Hazel P.
Throughout the museum, visitors enjoyed listening to the performance groups, as well as visiting with Native artists. All day, tribal dance groups from around the region shared the unique songs and dances of the Northwest Native peoples.
We try to always enter with our paddle song. We have the children, our drummers lead us in singing the song and our dancers following, doing the paddle dance, because that is a Puyallup song.
Puyallup Tribe's Chief Leshai's drum group performing here practices often to proudly represent their school and community.
These girls practice once a week to dance. I take them on Thursday mornings. The drummers practice the songs, the timing, the words on Tuesday mornings.
For visitors, the museum was full of areas where they could witness traditional artists at work.
Well, I came today to
share in the event. Hopefully, this is a kickoff it'll grow, and it'll be something that we can participate in for years. And I'm real happy that the museum has opened the doors to Native artists and dancing, and I think it's a good thing.
Another part of the event today was visitors actually got to try many of the crafts.
Now this one will come under or over.
All day long, the classrooms were busy as volunteers helped visitors learn how to weave strips of cedar into small baskets. For many, the instructions were very helpful, as they too tried their hand at weaving. Jewelry making was also popular.
Jewelry in Indian culture, as with any culture, tells the story of who we are as a person and as a people. Jewelry encompasses not only the ornamentation, but also the beadwork. It always tells a story. What we're doing here is everyone is learning how to make a traditional Northwest coastal choker.
As the celebration continued, many enjoyed the vast array of songs and dances of the Coast Salish people. At the Coastal Native Celebration, I am Frank Grice reporting for Native Heartbeat.
And now it's time to take a look at what's going on throughout our Native nations with Native Heartbeat reporter Jeremiah George.
Hi, I'm Jeremiah George. Welcome to news from throughout our Native nations. Canoe family skippers and supporters gathered together with organizers of this year's Tribal Journey and Potlatch. The Makah tribe is hosting the Paddle to Makah with the theme Journey to the Beginning of the World.
We are so excited. We have been getting plans together. Our entire community is pulling together. It's really, really wonderful to see all our community come together for this. And our plan is how can we keep our community keep coming together for something so positive such as travel journeys.
The Lummi Nation football team, the Blackhawks, made their second trip to the state 1B football championship, where they took on Tri-Cities Prep. The Blackhawks were defeated but finished its season with a 10-4 record and earned its second state runner-up trophy in 4 years.
It will discipline you for your schoolwork and your work in the community. So it's actually just a great teacher for people to learn about themselves and how hard work will pay off at the end.
Artists and tribal dancers gathered to celebrate American Indian Day at the Puyallup Fairgrounds. Storytellers, artists, and visitors enjoyed the afternoon, later dining on elk stew. American Indian Day was first observed in 1912 by the Boy Scouts of America in Rochester, New York.
This is a day to honor our people, all of our people. Not just one day, but those of us that walk in the red world every day. Honor, respect. Each day, each step we make, we should walk in a good way. Be examples to our brothers and sisters, our uncles, our aunts, our grandfathers, our grandmothers, our mothers, our fathers, to show them that we are healthy, we are strong, and we're not going away.
We hope you have enjoyed this edition of Native Heartbeat. Check out our website at nativeheartbeat.com. Thank you for watching. I'm Mystique Hurtado.
Washington's Indian tribes are investing in health care. The Jamestown S'Klallam tribe is expanding their health care clinic to meet an ever-growing community need.
Quality health care of our people, of our citizens, Indian and non-Indian alike, is essential for our future.
This new 35,000 square foot clinic will provide medical services and be open to the general public. Tribal governments are investing millions of dollars each year across our state to improve health and dental care in our communities.
That's the bottom line for us, is quality health care.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1!
The few, the proud, the Marines.